that woke everybody up. All right, we are back from closed session and opening the regular meeting at 7:05. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Lawrence, would you lead us to the pledge, please?
Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of the agenda. We have one change to our agenda, and that is on item 1D3, which is our closed session item, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment. It says no action. That is actually an action item. So we will be reporting out on that. Dr. Marshall, any other changes? Okay. All right. Seeing that, I need a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I so move.
We've got a motion by Member Munoz, seconded by Member Gattuso to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is carried unanimously. Item 5, recognition. So for the last good part of this year, we've had student representatives here, and we'd just like to say thank you. This is Jacinta's last meeting with us because we have, she's here in May, and then, June, and then we have Dome coming in May, I'm sorry, getting my months mixed up, and then June, they are graduated and not going to, or out of school and not going to be with us any longer for the rest of the summer. So we have a little thank you. Oh, it's nice. We have a little thank you, and we really appreciate all you've done. You've done a great job representing your school and the other high schools. So thank you so much for doing that and being here and being part of the board. And we wish you great things. What's happening for you next year?
First of all, thank you. I did not know I was getting a gift. Thank you very much. Next year, I'm not entirely sure. I do have to make my decision by the end of this month. I'm looking at attending UC Riverside to get my BS in biology. So I will be leaving Los Banos, but it's been a great run on the board. I love being involved, and I love being a voice for our community. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We love our student reps, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 6, the members of the public who wish to have an item placed on one of our regular board meetings can do so by submitting their request to the superintendent at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled board meeting, and that will be looked at and possibly agendized in a future meeting. So that's how you get something on our agenda. That, of course, is within our purview. Anybody here tonight that would like to make any comments on any item on tonight's agenda may do so when that item comes up before us. Please step up to the microphone up front, the podium, and when that item comes up, you'll have the opportunity to speak. There will be a limit of 3 minutes per speaker, with a total of 20 minutes for each agenda item and public comments on agenda item. If there's anybody here tonight that wishes to address the agenda, address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda, may do so by coming up to the podium and speaking to us. You will have also 3 minutes to speak. If there are multiple speakers on a non-agenda item, then there is a 20-minute limit to that non-agenda item. So with that, is there anybody here tonight that wishes to speak that is on something that is not on tonight's agenda? Hi, good evening.
My name is Trinidad Gallegos. I'm with Los Baños High School. I'm an art teacher, and I hope you're all having a fantastic week. Los Baños art students are participating in the countywide Merced Arts Council Honors High School Art Show competition. And Los Baños High School student artwork is currently being displayed since March 8th until April 18th in the Mac Gallery. We have had a good number of photography students participate, and they all did an excellent job. Student work is currently on display this week if anybody here is planning a trip to Merced. Los Baños High School students have put in elaborate efforts on submitting excellent work, including various types of photography styles and processes. I applaud and congratulate them all for the extensive efforts to continually polish their skills. I invite you all to the Merced Multicultural Arts Center to enjoy some of these works. Specifically, I'd like to recognize and congratulate Warm Rangel as she was awarded by the Merced Arts Council. Warm's Rangel's piece called Expectations took first place for her outstanding three-dimensional artwork. Warm's work was also recognized and awarded by the State Assembly of California, and she has also received an award from the Senate. It is an honor and a pleasure to see our students grow and to see Warm recognized for her skill, dedication, and determination. Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to give these awards to Ms. Rangel. So here is the school art show from the Merced Arts Council. There you go. The Scholastic Achievement Award from the Assembly of California. And the State Senate Award. Yeah. Is it okay if we take a picture?
Of course.
Yeah. However you can. Yeah. Can you come in?
Congratulations, and we're really proud of you, and of course, all the teachers you had that helped you get there. So thank you very much for everything. Congratulations. Are there any other? Is there anybody else that wishes to address the board tonight on any item that is not on tonight's agenda?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kristen Odell, and I'm the drama teacher at Creekside Junior High. And I've brought my cast of characters. We will be performing The Wizard of Oz on Saturday, May 13th. And we have flyers for you, invitations. So let's see. I would like for the Tin Man and the Scarecrow
Thank you.
and the Cowardly Lion. We also have, go ahead, stand up here, guys. We also have Dorothy. We have Toto. And we have a coroner. We have a lawyer, a barrister. We have Aunt Emily. And we have Uncle Henry. Yeah, pass them to this. We have the Wicked Witch. And we have our Miss Gold. And Toto's probably going to try and hide from her. And then we have Hunk and the come on down. We have our ladybugs. Our ladybugs even. Tonight we are missing Glenda, but come to the show and her dress and makeup will not disappoint you. We're very excited. And we have Cadence. Come on down, Cadence. She will be helping in our sound booth with Bernie. And our performance will be actually at Pacheco High Performing Arts Theater with a dedicated stage and professional sound booth. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Miss Odell, it says doors open at 2. I assume the show is at, doors open at 1:30. I assume the show's at 2.
The show is at 2. There are no advance tickets, though.
Okay. Thank you. $5 for adults and $2 for students. Saturday, May 13th, doors open at 1:30, shows at 2. One performance. Get there. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for dressing up and coming down tonight and showing us your great costumes. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Hello.
Hello, board. My name is Domingo Sandoval. I'm a local business owner, and I'm actually part of the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm a part of everywhere. So I'm here to thank all these teachers. To thank because these teachers work very hard all the time. I see it, and I want to say thank you. You guys do an awesome job, every single one. And I want you guys listen a little bit to every single one, to see why is the reason is here. So my son, actually, I'm very proud of him. All my kids. I'm very proud of all my kids. Well, my son is 4.17. So I'm proud of him because you know what? All these teachers. It starts with Renee. It starts with every Oak Creek side all the way to high school. I want you guys listen to these people, please. Only asking. You know, these people have the same struggle like everybody else, like me, you know. So these guys got to pay for books, they got to pay for everything. The economic is very bad. You know, and whatever you guys pay these teachers is not enough. These guys need a little bit more. And only asking you guys to listen. Put your heart a little bit there. Be people. And you guys can do a lot of good things for these teachers. Like I say, every single one is a good one. But it's only, you guys try to help them out. I know you guys can make the decisions. I know you guys can do things. But you can help these people. Please, only asking to help all these teachers these teachers put all her hearts to these kids. Because when you guys do something for the teachers got to do something for the kids. And it's teaching. That's the important thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other person that would like to speak to the board on a non-agenda item tonight? All right, seeing no one come forward, we're going to go ahead. It's kind of noisy. It's noisy out there. Can we shut the doors, please? So people in the back, they said the speakers aren't on in the lobby. We have no control over that. I have no control over that. So people in the back are the ones who are in charge of that. It looks like they're getting it done. All right, they're getting it turned on now. All right, we're going to go on to the next item, which is our student representative report. So, Jacinta, you're on.
Okay, so our first report is Pacheco High School for the month of March 2022. Mental health counselor Kilbride did a wellness workshop that focused on creating positive goals and getting rid of bad habits, which was a success. Pacheco FFA has had a great spring so far. Students have attended elementary ag days at Miano, Henry Miller, and Charleston. Our students love working with the younger kids and teaching them about agriculture. Nino Santiago and Maria Cibrian competed in the first ever Spanish Creed contest, both earning spots to move on to the state contest. 9 students attended the FFA State Conference in Ontario, California. They participated in leadership activities, trainings, and voted on important issues in the FFA and for 2023 to 2024 state FFA officers. Maria Cibrian competed in the state FFA talent contest playing the bagpipes. Some upcoming activities include more ag days, field day competitions, and the May Day Fair. Pacheco FFA is excited to finish the year strong. PHS had our first Ivy League visit on campus. Yale University visited our campus on March 16th, and 90 of our sophomores and juniors attended the presentation. The Pacheco Choir students had a very busy March. On March 7th, we had our spring concert with Los Banos Junior High School Choir and Creekside Choir. Each choir performed their own set of music and then joined together for a combined performance of Si Si Ni Moja, We Are One. March 17th, the Pacheco Choir students had their second festival of the year, Central Valley Choral Festival at CSU Stanislaus. The students had the chance to perform for 2 prestigious educators, Dr. Daniel Alfonso, coordinator of choral vocal activities for Stanislaus State, and Julie Donna, retired, formerly director of the Fresno City College Choral and Vocal Program. March 24th, our third and last festival of the year, Pacheco Choir traveled to Dublin High School to perform in the California Music Educators Association Festival. The 3 judges awarded us 2 excellence and 1 superior for an overall score of excellent. Superior is the highest you can receive. A great way to end our festival season. March 31st and April 1st through 31st, Pacheco Choir students participated in the Merced County Honors Choir, where we made up the bulk of the choir. Only 2 students from other schools attended. The guest conductor was Mr. Tom Faria, and they performed 4 songs as an honor choir and then 1 combined number with the elementary honor choirs that were present. On March 30th, Pacheco High School hosted their annual college and career fair. We had 42 booths full of representatives from a variety of career fields, colleges, universities, and vocational schools. Students from all grade levels visited the fair, along with 80 students from Los Banos Junior High. The event was a success, and students left with lots of new information to help guide them in their post-secondary options. On March 13th, Pacheco ASB hosted the annual blood drive. It was a huge success with a high turnout of first-time donors, which was great to see. On March 20th, the prom planning committee traveled to Wolf Lakes in Sanger to make final decisions for the event taking place on April 22nd. A tour of the venue and selecting things like dinner menu and colors for the event were the highlight of the day. Senior Jake Perkins signed his national letter of intent to play soccer at UC Merced on Friday, March 24th. He becomes the 3rd Pacheco senior this year to sign on to play a collegiate sport. And that concludes Pacheco's report. On to Los Banos High School for the month of March as well. School news. On March 10th, LBHS counselors hosted the annual College and Career Fair. There were under just 60 different booths to provide information to LBHS students about college and career options. During the month of March, LBHS counselors hosted multiple college presentations. There were visits from CSU Stanislaus, Yale University, and Merced College. They provided information about their schools and programs to LBHS students. LBHS had a multicultural night on March 30th. There were 15 clubs present representing different cultures. There were 2 Aztec dance group performances, a folkloric dance group performance, and a student banda performance. LBHS is looking forward to making this an annual event. Students in environmental science class participated in the annual March Mammal Madness competition. Students fill out brackets and break them down throughout the month of March to find the winning animal. While doing this, they learn about mammals, their habitats, and their environment. National Honor Society and LBHS participated in the national hashtag Take Down Tobacco campaign. Posters were put up around the campus and daily announcements were read warning students of the dangers of tobacco use. LBHS had 35 seniors complete the requirements for their seals of biliteracy. The students that qualified will go to a ceremony in Merced on April 25th. LBHS celebrated academics for the new quarter by updating the gold, cardinal, and white cards for students. There were 2 celebrations in the MPB for students to reward them for their academics. There were over 200 gold earners, 520 cardinal earners, and 260 white earners. That is 64% of our students that qualified for a card based on grades. LBHS students in Mrs. Sousa's science class participated in the annual Pizza Box Convention Oven Project. They used pizza boxes to create a mini oven using saran wrap to cook a chocolate and marshmallow s'more. Students in Mr. Leonard's science class participated in a rocket project where they learned about building the rocket, engineering the rocket, and learning all about physics. This is a fun project where students enjoy hands-on experiences. And let me tell you, I was walking through the quad when this was going on. Those rockets went really far. So his students did great. I almost got hit by like 2 of them. On March 8th, LBHS Band had their spring concert where they had winter percussion, winter guard, jazz band, concert band, and soloist performances. Mr. Salaz's and Mrs. Souza's environmental biology and AP environmental science classes went on a field trip to the Monterey Bay Aquarium on March 30th. 50 students engaged in a hands-on below-the-sea lab. Teaching staff from Monterey Bay Aquarium, along with the community volunteers, helped guide students through this lab where they learned about whale falls. After the lab, students were admitted into the aquarium where they were able to further explore the marine life exhibits. On March 19th, LBHS held its annual Winter Sports Awards. In the month of March, LBHS's FFA chapter held its monthly meeting on the 6th. At that meeting, students picked up officer applications and got to enjoy some burritos. A few of the members got to attend the sectional game night held by Merced Mariposa. On March 10th, the chapter had 3 girls compete in the first ever Spanish Creed speaking contest, in which Jaylene Barriaga placed first in the blue division and Elizabeth Buenrostro placed third in the gold division. Zoe Wooten placed 4th in Creed. The girls will now be moving on to state. On this same day, Henry Miller Ag Day was held, and lots of members participated in teaching the younger generation about agriculture. On March 11th, the dairy judging team competed at the Western Classic, placing 5th in jersey placings, and Matthew Pacheco was an overall high individual. The honor flight through drive dinner was on March 15th, and it was a total success. Los Banos FFA took 20 members to the state convention in Ontario from March 16th through 19th, where they expanded their knowledge on leadership and agriculture. The officers and a group of other members attended the Merced County School Board Association dinner at Grasslands Elementary on March 28th and helped serve. On the 30th, FFA held All-American, where FFA fed all of the school and everyone got to enjoy some baseball during lunch. On that same day, FFA participated in a multicultural night. March was a busy month for the chapter as it gets closer to fair time. That concludes my report. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let us know where you're going to go.
I'll keep you guys
Guys,
updated.
it's exciting. So we have, tonight we have students from Mr. De La Cruz's government class and here to observe government in action. And so one of the things I like to do is kind of explain some of the things that we are doing here. And if you were here last month, you heard this already. But this is your rep. Or one of your reps. Each high school gets to elect a rep to the school board, and they are here tonight to give us a report, but they also have the opportunity to give their thoughts on any item that's on our agenda. So they can stay here, and if they don't have to run home and do homework or go to practice of some kind, they can participate in the meeting. If there's anything on the agenda that they would like to comment on, they have the opportunity to do that. And one of the things that Ed Code allows is that student reps can actually vote on items on our agenda, although their vote doesn't count. But they get to vote, and that's to let us know, their thoughts on something. Their vote would actually take place prior to a vote of the board. So if any of our board reps from our high school would like to participate in the discussion, they have full right to do that, and we encourage them to do that. And if you have anything you ever see on our agenda, the person that you want to talk to is your board rep, and they can bring your concerns to us. So that's a little explanation of your board rep that is here tonight, representing you guys. So, and thank you for being here, and glad you're here. And if you have any questions, come up afterwards or whatever, and let us know. Cool. Thank you. And Justin, again, thank you very much, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
You bet. On to California School Employees Association report. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, how are you? So this last month has been a busy one. After our ratification on our TA in March, our fiscal analyst and accounting specialist jumped into action with processing the retro payments and our one-time off-schedule payment for a little over 500 classified employees. Our secretary, Jessica Salvatier, and Dr. Calzadias worked diligently on making sure our contract was accurate with all of our changes and with all of the approved changes and ready to send to our printers. Leanne West and I attended the CISC review for classified insurance. Unfortunately, there was another increase this year. It's not surprising with medical costs continuing to go up and inflation at an all-time high. We will probably continue to see increases for the next few years. However, with the help of Ms. Garibay, we are in the process of putting together a health fair for our members, where they can ask questions, learn about new programs being offered, and the new packages that CISC will offer. This is the perfect time to get creative and make sure we continue to have exceptional insurance with packages that are affordable to all who want it. Our e-board is in the process of creating an educational fund committee. As you are aware, this was part of our agreement for the 22-23 negotiations. We are looking forward to helping our members who are interested in becoming better at the job they do, and therefore being an asset to the district and the students they serve. I'm honored to say that Chapter 92 and Los Spanish Unified are on the cusp of being pioneers, as educational funds are unheard of in this area for classified employees. I was at a president's meeting for classified, and everybody was just in awe that we were able to negotiate educational funds for classified employees. I attended COSBO this past week. It was my first time ever attending, and what an experience. I dove into the Women in Leadership and Communication sessions. Being the help desk specialist for the district, president of CSEA, and a coach at CrossFit Valley View, I'm communicating about 80% of my day. My favorite quote from COSBO was, "Effective communication begins with mutual respect." Communication that inspires, encourages others to do their best. Definitely brought me to an aha moment. One of the sessions I attended was called Just Get Along. Change your perspective, change your life. If you ever get a chance to attend this at any of your conferences, I would highly recommend it. I even got to put this into action when we had to deboard our plane after the conference on our way home due to technical difficulties. I changed my "great, now we're going to get stuck in San Jose traffic" to "great, now I get to eat lunch." So I made it home with a full tummy and a smile. My favorite session, though, was Female Leaders: Inspire, Influence, and Succeed. I could probably speak about this for hours. Don't worry, I'm not. What I am going to say is that, female or male, your goal should be to inspire, influence, and succeed. A true leader has courage to make tough decisions, and yet should have compassion towards the needs of others. I think the greatness of a leader should not be measured by their own achievements, but by the achievements of those they have led. Speaking of women in leadership, I want to take a minute to give a shout out to Leanne West. She won the Outstanding Student Award from FPU. Leanne is our vice president and demonstrates what a woman in leadership is. One of the statements in the article that was written about her said she demonstrated leadership in her class, assisting and supporting others. Definite facts. Leanne demonstrates this daily with our members, and she is always there to support me and empower me when I need it. In closing, I would like to share my favorite quote from an amazing female leader, one of my favorites, Oprah Winfrey. "When you know who you are and what you stand for, you stand in wisdom." Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. On to Los Spanish Teachers Association. Jennifer?
Hello, good evening. Before I begin my report, I want to point out we had Kristen Odell come up with her to introduce the cast members of her program, and she does an amazing job. And all of the fees for the accompaniments and the person who does all of the sets, those come from Kristen's pocket. The district is not funding that. She is doing that all on her own. And I want to make sure that she is acknowledged that she's doing an amazing job, and she's done that for a couple years now since she's taken over that program, and she's done some amazing things. I also want to congratulate Jacinta. You're doing a great job. And I would like to congratulate the Pacheco Choir and remind you that we still don't have a choir teacher at Los Banos High School because we have not been able to attract or retain one since our longtime choir leader retired. It was an award-winning choir program that no longer exists because we weren't able to find someone to take that spot. And I think that is rather sad. I would like to let everyone know we had the honor, Los Banos Teachers Association had the honor of hosting CTA President E. Toby Boyd right before spring break, and he was able to come and tour a few of our school sites. We started out with a breakfast at Eddie's with part of our executive board, where they were able to ask him questions and get to know him on a personal level. He then was able to tour a couple classes at LBE, where he was able to read to a second grade class and see some of our intervention teachers in action. He came to Miano, where he was able to read to kindergartners, fourth graders, talk to some sixth graders, and talk to our staff. He then went to Los Banos Junior High, where the amazing FFA officers there gave a wonderful tour of Los Banos Junior High and their ag program, and he was thoroughly impressed by all three of those young women, and they did an amazing job. We left there with a chicken, so which is still in Dio's fridge, possibly. We couldn't take it with. He was traveling. And then we finished the day at Pacheco, where he was able to visit a few classrooms. And it was quite a great experience. And the students had some amazing questions, and they did some amazing things with him. So it was just a very inspiring day. I don't remember a CTA president coming to visit us in the past. And so I thought that was a very nice honor. He also was able to talk with Dr. Marshall for a few minutes at the end of the day before he left. Now to what I officially wrote up. I had planned on starting this report in much the same way I did last month, by highlighting all of the great things that our members are doing above and beyond whatever gets noticed. Then I started thinking, if our district doesn't already recognize what amazing people they have in their employ, then that's their problem. We have over 500 of some of the best teachers in the state, if not the country. Our ranks are made up of all ages, faiths, races, and backgrounds. We have single folks and people with large families and everything in between. Our teachers are varied, our values are varied, and our beliefs are varied. There's one thing that we all have in common. We are here for our students. And for anyone to suggest anything otherwise, it's just wrong. We show up day in and day out. Most of us go above and beyond what our contract says we're required to do. Not because we feel like we have to, but because we want to, and we know that's what's best for our students. We have lives outside of our jobs. We often sacrifice time, energy, and money away from our family and friends so we can do our job and serve our students in the best way possible. Yes, if you compare our salary and benefits to those around ours are pretty darn good. Yet we can't keep the teachers that we have here. We are losing them to districts around us. You may want to ask why this is happening. This is my 25th year in Los Banos. I teach at the school that I went to as a kid. I'm not the norm. We have a lot of commuters. And LBUSD has long been a great place for teachers to come and start their careers. But many don't end their careers here. We are losing several teachers this year who have years of teaching with our district, not to retirement, but to districts closer to home that pay less. We have an amazing induction program. Our salary and benefits are attractive, and we support our new teachers better than most districts around us. Then you hit about year 5, and that support starts to slide away. Demands become more than most people can handle. Our class sizes and caseloads are much larger than the districts around us. The drive is less valuable than the difference in pay and benefits. So you also start to see people leaving around that time. They take their training and experience and go to districts closer to home, where there is more opportunity and where people feel valued and respected. I spent lunch today with several teachers who are frustrated and feeling very demoralized. I was one of them. They aren't going to volunteer for extra stuff. They aren't going above and beyond. They're ready to show up, work their 7.5-hour contract day, and go home. What gets done, gets done. If all those extra demands are really that important, the district needs to show that they are a priority. Make time for us to be able to get those things done. Fund them adequately. Or, how about even better than adequately? Stop expecting people to work through their breaks, their lunches, weekends, summers, holidays, just to keep their heads above water. Make them feel like they are valued employees with knowledge, experience, and opinions that matter. Last month, you passed a resolution that called teachers the true heroes of society. And if this is the respect that heroes get, I don't think I want to be one. Last month, you approved a TA for classified and a deal for all confidential and administrative employees and district managers that was better than the last, best, and final offer that was given to us heroes. 4 times. Your bargaining team filed for impasse. When they read our response, they pulled it. All we said was that some of the information was incorrect and that we didn't feel we were done bargaining. There was incorrect information in that filing, and you approved a better deal for every other employee in our district. We certainly hope your team isn't done. If they are, what message does that send to over 500 of your heroic employees? Actions truly speak louder than words. Remember, there is a teacher shortage. Fewer and fewer people are going into the profession, and more people are leaving. We can't afford to lose the amazing teachers we currently have. We need to attract the next generation of amazing teachers. How can we do this, you might ask? It's really very simple. Stop overwhelming us with the latest, greatest, and newest. In education, we all know that in 3 years, there's going to be something else that's great and new. Or we're just going to call it by a new name. Don't try to decrease our benefits in a time when they didn't cost you anything. And don't disrespect us by treating us like we are less valuable than every other district employee in our district. When we return to the bargaining table on Tuesday, we hope that your team shows up finally ready to negotiate in good faith. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. On to a superintendent's report. Dr. Marshall.
Okay, thank you. Well, time is flying. We're like 3/4 finished with the school year. It's interesting that when we left before spring break, I had the chance to go to the Miano open house. And it's interesting that parents are coming back. I mean, it was packed. And I think all the schools had that same experience. I also attended the multicultural event at Los Banos High School. It was their first time trying it. And it was a good time. Today at Pacheco High School, we had some visitors from Kyoto, Japan. And I visited that city like about 20 years ago. And it was interesting. We met the principal and CEO. He was on site. And we really had some good discussions about educational processes. On the subject of Pacheco High School, George McEwen, one of our students, was recognized again as the AXA Region 9 recipient at the Every 16 Students Banquet in Fresno. And he won like $1,000. It's very impressive. It was nice getting the email from Stu about Los Banos FFA Collective. That's Los Banos High School, Los Banos Junior High School, and Pacheco High School. They attended the FFA Public Speaking Finals in Modesto, and there were a big list of winners. The same experience with our junior highs. We had Creekside and Los Banos Junior High School. They were at the Mesa competition and did very well. Now I have, one more kudos. The Creekside girls soccer team. They won the league championship. So that's very impressive. So that's okay, you know. I want to recognize a few. We have amazing staff here, and I want to recognize a few staff members at this point. I want to start first. Is April, Dr. Lotta, is she here tonight? April just finished her doctorate at Cal State Stanislaus. Having gone through that process, myself, Dr. Calzadias, Dr. Horton, years ago. I mean, you made a lot of sacrifices to do that. So, congratulations to you. And it's good to get that out of the way. So, good job. Also, Renee Leonard, where are you? Renee, please stand. Renee is going to be leaving us. It's bad news for us, but I think our loss is Merced City's gain. She's going into a district office position there in Merced City. She's been a principal like 7 years for us, am I correct? And she's done an amazing job. And she's going to do, I think it was sad to see her leave, but at the same time, we talked about this previously. Professionally, that was, now you've gotten two different things two different tools, two different districts. So it's going to serve you well down the road. So congratulations. All right, Mr. Dialba, I see you here too. Stand, please. You can stand too. Well, Sergio, he brings us all kind of accolades, but this is very interesting. He won the Fund for Teachers Fellowship, and he's going to be going to Australia. And according to the itinerary, he's going to learn lots of things as far as about the different industries to bring back to his classroom and to his students. Maggie Ardunis and Grasslands. Stand up, please. We hosted the Merced County School Boards Dinner. I want to say thank the gracious hostess, Mr. Stu McCullough with the FFA students and the meal, Kim Kopp and the desserts. I mean, it was interesting. I mean, when the food came out, you just heard everybody got quiet. And I mean, that meal was delicious. When I was on the on exercise bike the next morning, I was thinking about you, but that's but it was good. But we did. I mean, Lost Banners really shine. And when the memo came across from the county office, they basically and I've gotten this email with the memo attached for many years, and this is the first time that when they wrote like the little header, it said, "Oh, and thanks to Grasslands for hosting this event and the food and all that stuff." So we did a good job. We really shined tonight. So thank you. Thank you again. Now I'm going to get to negotiations real quick. I didn't say this last time, but I'm going to say it tonight because I felt bad last month. We did wrap up negotiation with CSEA, and I want to thank you guys for that process. And I'm hopeful that we're going to resume with negotiations with LBTA next week, and it's our intent to negotiate in good faith. And as you all are aware, you get updates every time we have a session. You always get updates. You kind of can read about what happened at that session. But again, we will continue to bargain in good faith. And and the goal is to reach a tentative agreement. That's always the goal. So now I'm glad everybody stayed because now we're getting into some good information. Next month we're going to have some discussions about the facility projects. Not this round. You know about all the ones that are going on now. But what's going to happen in the next few months, we're about to get our disbursement of the next Measure X monies, our facilities money. When you get that second installment, what's going to happen is we have a committee of the board that looks at the different needs and facilities moving forward. So we will try to work on identifying the next set of projects. Now, we've talked about, you've seen the list. If you have anybody here from Volta, your parking lot is on that list. So that's on the current list. So I want to make sure that when the lists go out, we do have a running list of different projects and stuff like that. But we're getting ready to start the next round of projects with Measure X monies. Next month, please come back. I'm going to be doing a presentation on two good presentations. One's going to be on the restricted funds that the district receives. I think I really need to kind of go into what those monies are and what they can be used for. And because we're getting a lot of grants, and it's imperative that I kind of explain what those grants are for. So, I mean, because 2024 is a critical year as far as the end of the ESSER funding. And so when that ends, that sunsets, but there are things coming in, and I need to kind of be able to articulate kind of what exactly those things are and what you can use them for. All right, and then the last thing, in California, we're funded, by average daily attendance, and we've gotten some questions about what are our attendance patterns since the pandemic. So at the next presentation, we're going to have a group to look at our current data, look at the trends, and basically give us some ideas of how we can improve, kids coming to school. Because the more kids come to school, if you're funded that way, the more revenue you get. It's pretty simple. So next month, I hope you all come back. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Dr. Marshall. On to facilities. Welcome, Sherry.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Marshall. Do you want me to wait?
Wait
Do you want me
a
to go?
couple.
Okay.
Wait a couple seconds, please. The students that are standing over here, if you want to jump in a seat, go right ahead, rather than stand. Get comfy.
All right.
All right, welcome, Sherry.
Thank you. So facilities update for April 13th, 2023. So this front page, as you can see, Lofton Stadium, they have done a lot of cleanup on the site. They've done a lot of grading. It looks really good as far as getting all the mud and piles of dirt out of the way. They have some spoils they need to remove with a truck, but that's kind of sitting out at the front of the project right now, but that will be removed soon. So building 100 and 300, which are the team rooms and restrooms, they're pretty much in the same phase. The metal roofing, they'll be complete with that by the end of next week. They have taped and textured. They're completing that this week, and next week they'll be priming and painting the interior. The restrooms, the insulation has been inspected, and they're installing the drywall currently, and they'll be starting the tiling next week. And like I said, both buildings are pretty much in the same state. Building 200, the concession stand, they're still working on the lath. They completed that, and the scratch coat they will be putting on early next week. And then at the end of next week, they should be complete with the sheetrock. And then the roofing will also be complete on top of that building, and then they'll start moving to the inside and start doing the sheetrock and taping and that kind of stuff, and then move on to the painting. The site, they have done the grading. They've added some base rock. There's additional site work to be done before they can start pouring all the flat work. They have, this is the right one. They've done the concrete curbs. So there's a 4-foot fence that'll go around the track itself. And then there's a perimeter fence that goes around the whole entire area. So this picture in the middle shows where they're working on the curbs for that 4-foot fence. The picture on the left is the trash enclosure. Next week they'll be doing the CMU wall, which is the brick walls for that, and then they'll have some doors. Let's see what else. Oh, and then they will also be starting the irrigation and sleeves and the pump next week, so they'll get all that in place. So for any of the tree wells or any of the other landscape that's out, they want to put that all in before they do the flat work. So, and then the other picture in here, as you can see, they're finishing up with all the mechanical stuff up in the ceiling before they close that up. I do need to to let you know that the HVAC units on this project are being delayed. I don't have a exact date yet of the ship date yet, but we've been notified by the manufacturer that they are delayed, just like they were on Pacheco. So by next board meeting, I'm hoping to have a firm date or what they are promising for a firm date. It just keeps getting pushed out right now, a couple weeks. So I don't really have it. We've been asking throughout the project if this was going to be an issue, and they kept telling me no. They don't know until basically the manufacturer comes back and lets them know. So that's where we are right now. So we'll have more information by next board meeting, hopefully, on those. And then on the solar project for the Lofton Stadium, which is going on buildings 100 and 300. So the metal roof will be complete by the end of next week on those buildings. We're going to do a roof inspection and a certification and a warranty review, and then we are going to allow the solar contractor to start that work, even though the actual whole Lofton Stadium project isn't complete. We're going to turn over just the roof area to them, and then they would be responsible for any damage or anything like that. And Collins Electric is the contractor who's working on Lofton Stadium, and they are also the contractor for the solar project, so that'll be a really nice transition to just kind of keep going there. Okay, HME parking lot. I'm so excited. So our PG&E pole was replaced yesterday. Yay! Thanks, PG&E. So today I noticed they were out smoothing the rock, getting that fixed up so they can do the asphalt. They were trying to do it tomorrow. It may happen tomorrow, but they're telling me worst case scenario will be Monday. So we still need to do the electrical for the gates. They need to finish up a little bit of fencing and gate work, and then they will do the striping and signage the following week after the asphalt to kind of let that cure. And then we have a punch list and closeout for that. But that is very close to being finished now that that pole's been replaced. So over spring break, we started the Los Banos fire alarm replacement project. As you can see, they were installing just the conduit inside the ceilings in the classrooms. So other than the picture of the conduit, there really wasn't much for me to show unless I crawled up in the ceiling. But they are going to continue next week in the evening, so they'll be doing that work. And they will be installing the new system before they demo the old. So we will have continuous coverage there in the chance that when they're switching from one to the other, if there is no coverage, they would provide fire watch. So we're always covered and make sure we're good. So speaking of that, this is more of a maintenance thing, but I just kind of wanted to report. The next two things are kind of things our maintenance department has been working on. So there was a small fire at Los Banos Ag Department welding shop. We thank the fire department for coming quickly and taking care of it. There was a power surge in the exhaust fan motor. And then also I was told something with a belt, that the belt had broke. So we have a local contractor who's going to be cleaning and rebuilding the affected ventilation system. And then we are also going to do an inspection on all the other areas to make sure those belts are intact and anything like that. And then some of the other projects that our maintenance department has been working on, it was during spring break. So at Pacheco, they replaced the PA system with a Kerhawk system. Maintenance did that in conjunction with our IS department. At the DO, there was some asphalt repairs that were done. So down here in the left-hand corner, you can see what it looked like before and now how it's beautiful. And then the Los Banos High School, if you guys remember a while back, you had approved a board agenda item for some toilet partitions. And so they've been installed, and all 4 bathrooms, and they look wonderful. And then the big floor at Pacheco will be redone by the end of April. So that is my report. Any questions or comments or?
Any questions? All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dana.
You know, I went by Henry Miller's new area because I was just curious. And, you know, I just noticed that who owns that house? Is that just somebody else?
I am not sure who owns the house.
It's not ours, right?
No. The
Okay.
neither of those two kind of buildings there
Like
are
the
ours.
garage and everything? Okay.
Yes, that
'Cause
is not
I was
our
just
property.
curious. It looked like it was kind of attached. I just was wondering if it was ours or if it was somebody
No,
else's.
it is not ours.
All right. Any other questions? Sherry, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on to board member reports. We'll start with Ms. Valadeo.
I had the opportunity to go to Henry Miller's preschool. It was the week of the young child. And I just want to give a shout out to the teacher there, Lucia Aguilar. And I think she has two other people, Norma Lopez and Christina Alcala. I'm not sure if I said that right. What a wonderful experience. I haven't been to our preschools yet. So this was my first experience. And I got there right when the kids were coming in. And it was so awesome. The little kids come in, they get their name, and they put it in a little container that says, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm worried, I'm afraid. And I thought that was just a great way to get the temperature of the kids. And then they went and got a book and went to the carpet and were reading books. And it was just a wonderful, great feeling to be in there. And the kids were just happy and having a great time. So just kudos to those three teachers over at Henry Miller. I know they work very hard. I know they teach 2 sessions, not just one. And I had a great time reading to them. So thank you in that. I've done lots of other things, but I just wanted to give that as a shout out.
Thank you. Mr. Munoz.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to start with the Merced Symphony Child's concert over at Pacheco High School. Now, that was a sight. That concert was held to inspire our 4th graders. I was really impressed how all the kids really got involved because when it came down to pick a child to go up on stage, just about all of them got up raising their hand and yelling, me, me, me. But it was really nice. Really had a good time watching that. And then I also attended Music Amongst the Stars over at Pacheco Band. That was a nice dinner. The music, the orchestra, what they played, it was just outstanding. Took my girlfriend there, and we had a really good time. The table we sat at was people from all around, Morgan Hill, Cupertino, and they were watching their grandkids. Really, really great. Okay, I also attended Miano Elementary Open House. Okay, one thing that really struck me really good was talking to the counselors, the wellness counselor and the academic counselor. And they were giving me feedback on what they were doing and how they were doing it and the help that they were giving to teachers and helping their kids. Some of these kids have problems, and so they would go in and talk to the wellness counselor and then the academic counselor would jump in also. But it was really, really something to hear, the kind of work that they do to help our kids. As I walked through the classes, okay, one thing that really caught my eye was what was on the walls of these classrooms. Okay, they were kind of like little skits on these kids were writing, like when they got money, a lot of money, what would they do? If they got a lot of food, what would they do? Okay, and you can tell by reading it, it came from their hearts and their minds on what they were thinking. It was really, really nice. Really enjoyed that. I attended the preschool program, week of the young child. I went to Miano Elementary, and I read to the kids. They were studying, their week was studying the ocean. What I read was, Don't Eat the Teacher. That was the book that I read over at Miano. okay, about a shark. Mercy Springs Elementary. Okay, I went over there and I read to the kids. It was really nice. It was a different audience from first, second, or third grade. Jetty the Fish was a nice story. I even, how do you say it, participated in a dance that they have. They play music and they had a popcorn dance. It was a song about popcorn, how they make popcorn. And we were doing this, stirring, eating, hopping, popping. And I really enjoyed that. We really had a good time. And then today I went over to Henry Miller Elementary and I read The Rainbow Fish. And that was an interesting story. And again, I got involved with the kids. You know, we introduced ourselves. They asked me my name. They had questions. But we had a really good time. And then today I went over to West Side. A Shark in the Dark. Okay, again, I intervened with the kids. We said hello, we introduced ourselves, we asked questions, but we had a really good time. Then today, went over to San Luis Diversity Day. I do that every year. Okay, the cultural dancing was fantastic. And then the food that they had, very nice event by Mr. Mias. Thank you, and that's my report.
All right. Thank you. On to Mr. Lee.
Thank you. Welcome. So I pretty much can echo almost everything that Gary said that I went to, but and I won't say them all again, but there are a couple that stand out. Pacheco High had a blood drive on the 13th, and I went and gave blood and was happy to see all the students, and they were very happy to let me go to the front of the line while they just sat and waited. So, and they had their first time donors. So it was nice to see that, the giving blood. I hope they keep doing that their entire life. I did attend the Miano Ag Day, and I also attended the Music Under the Stars. But one thing I attended was the Miano Open House, and kudos to Sergio de Alba. So 25 years, 22 years, never fails to impress me. He had a full plant sale, and I think you had more people in your room than I saw in a lot of rooms. So thank you for doing that. Example of truly going above and beyond your entire career. So thank you. Going above and beyond the entire career also is Mr. McCullough. So went to the dinner, Grasslands, was at different events around town. Mr. McCullough and the other ag teachers are constantly on the move. I watch them in their vehicles, weekends, after school. They're constantly doing something. Yesterday, I attended the Pacheco High FFA pre-fair show of all the animals. Again, they were everywhere. Jason Bretz was there helping out. So they're getting ready for the fair. Fair's April 3rd to the 7th. Looking forward to the marching bands. May 3rd, I'm sorry, May 3rd. My fault. Thank you. May 3rd to the 7th. All the marching bands at the parade, all the 4-H and FFA kids showing their animals. So it's been very busy the last month, but and it's going to get busier. But and there are more things I could say, but I'm not going to. So thank you very much for everything you do. Incredible what goes on in this district, and if people don't realize what we're doing here as a city, they're not paying attention. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gattuso.
Well, I also attended quite a few of the same things everybody else did. Ag Day at Miano School, showing yesterday at Pacheco, the dinner was phenomenal. Thank you so much. Diversity Day, Multicultural Night. It just amazes me the amount of work and dedication by staff to put these events on, and I really do appreciate it, and I know all of us appreciate it. Even the Rotary Crab Feed, Interact students served, cleaned up, great, just wonderful to see the kids doing that. I know that the art show was mentioned earlier by an art teacher, but the Ted Velasco Art Center will be displaying some of the art from the high school students on May 23rd, I think, through the 25th. So that's another chance maybe to see some of the art if you didn't get to see it in Merced. Other than that, please keep inviting me to read and come to your schools. I just love it, and I want to be there, and keep sending me invitations, please. And thank you.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Tina, thank you so much for your work on the dinner as well. And you're just awesome.
All right. Thank you. Well, I have basically a ditto, but I just want to comment on a couple of things. First of all, congratulations, Dr. Lott. And congratulations to Ms. Leonard. Wonderful things are happening here. And also just a big thank you to Stu for putting on an absolute phenomenal dinner. Las Banas impressed the rest of the county. So we really appreciate that. And piggyback on what Ms. Cattuso just said, Tina did a phenomenal amount of work for that dinner, and above and beyond all the other things that she had to do. So, Tina, we really appreciate all you did on that because it really came out great. And of course, the hors d'oeuvres and desserts by Kim Kopp, thank you, were top notch too. So it was a great event. I too read at the preschool, and I did actually yesterday morning and yesterday afternoon at Henry Miller Preschool. And as Dana said, those kids are so dang cute. It was so fun to read to them. Just like everybody, I said, invite us to come and read or come and visit your classroom whenever there's something going on that is new and exciting or old and exciting. We don't care. So please invite us to your schools. We really like that. We just don't show up just because we want to check things out. We show up when you invite us, and we really like those invitations. So keep them coming, and we really like to come out and see what's happening. Gary mentioned the young, the Merced Symphony concert for our fourth graders, and I just have to piggyback. Of course, it was a great concert, and the person, nobody probably saw this, but unless you were at the concert, the person that kind of ran or was the violinist that was kind of the MC of the whole program. She's just very great at getting the kids to interact and to really enjoy music. But so that was phenomenal. But was really I'd like to share this. That was on Friday afternoon, morning and afternoon. And that weekend, I had tickets to a show in San Francisco. And so my wife and I were there, and we went out to dinner. And who do we run into but Don, who was the violinist for the show. And I thanked her again for doing a great job for Las Banas. So, after she was done with all the kids, and I had an opportunity to just have a short little conversation with her at dinner that night. So she was still very warm and wonderful. So she's a great asset to that program. Again, thank you to San Luis High School for the invitation to Diversity Day. It was a great event again. Army Ag Day. It's always fun to see those kids get excited about seeing animals that they probably have never seen before. So you could see a pig up close. That's exciting. So that's pretty cool. Again, Patriot High School did a great. Patriot High School band did a great dinner a couple weeks ago, and Las Banas High School band is having a dinner coming Saturday, April 29th. So that's something to check out. If you need to have a reason to not cook, that's an opportunity to enjoy some good music and some great dinner. And finally, next week, I haven't seen a lot of it advertising yet, but I'm going to share this with you and hopefully they'll get it out. Next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday evenings at 7 o'clock, we have the district music department doing different concerts. On Tuesday, April 18th, the Pacheco High School Choir, Los Banos Junior High Choir, and Creekside Junior High Choir are doing their music festival. And that's at Pacheco High School at 7 p.m. That's the choir on Tuesday, April 18th. On Wednesday, April 19th, at Los Banos High School in not the big gym, but the little gym, at Los Banos High School is going to be the Winter Guard and Winter Percussion groups from Los Banos High, Pacheco High, Creekside Junior High, and Los Banos Junior High. And if you've never seen a Winter Percussion and Winter Guard show, check it out. It's amazing what these kids can do. It's phenomenal. It's a great show. So that's Wednesday, April 19th at 7 o'clock at Los Banos High School. And Thursday, April 20th is the Pacheco band group. And they call it the group because it includes all of the feeder schools into Pacheco High School. So that's on Thursday, April 20th at Pacheco High School in the Brett Lee Gym. It's going to be Pacheco High School, Los Banos Junior High, Grasslands Elementary, Lorena Velasco Elementary, Miano Elementary, Volta Elementary, and Westside Elementary are all going to be performing on Thursday, April 20th at 7 p.m. at Pacheco High. And then finally on Friday, April 21st at 7 p.m. at the Los Banos Junior High, they call it the theater gym, the small gym. And that's the Los Banos High group, and that's Los Banos High, Creekside Junior High, Charleston Elementary, Henry Miller Elementary, Los Banos Elementary, and Mercy Springs Elementary. They're all going to be doing their concert. So there's a lot of music being offered next week. So check it out. And if you didn't write all that down as it went by, because it went by fast, I'm sure you can call the schools and get all that information, or call me. I don't care. I'm just glad to share. So there's lots of music things happening next week. And with that, that ends my report. And we are on to new business. And Dr. Severance, is she here? Hi. On to preconditions for initial program review.
Yes, good evening, board. My name is Barbie Severance, and I'm the induction coordinator with Los Banos Unified. We have a two-tiered credentialing system in California for both teachers and administrators. Most of you are familiar with our teacher induction program that we have had here in the district since 2008. In 2014, the Commission on Teacher Credentialing adjusted how administrators clear their credentials and required an induction program for them as well. Up until this point, and still now, our administrators are going to Merced County Office of Education for their induction to clear their credentials. Merced County's program is very generic by design because it has been developed to meet the needs of every school in every district in Merced County. It is the hope and the intent of Los Banos induction that we have an admin induction program that is more closely aligned with our district initiatives, our district goals, and is more closely embedded with the jobs that our administrators are in. So if you have any questions, you have the website, I believe, and all of the access to that.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? With that, we do need a motion. We got a motion by member Munoz, seconded by member Valadeo, to approve the preconditions for initial program review. Dr. Marshall has a comment.
Yeah, I have one comment and one oversight that I want to, I feel bad about this. I should have recognized Dr. Severance when I was talking about that earlier. You worked hard for that, so I need to acknowledge that. So
thank you. It's a work in progress, very definitely. I'm hoping to have everything to the commission by July. As you saw on the website, there's a lot of blanks that are waiting to get filled in.
Great. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Everything. All right, with that, we have a motion and a second to approve the precondition for initial program review. Any further discussion or comments? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. On to item B, Resolution 1023, Public Benefits Grants Program. Alejandra?
Hi, good evening. It is recommended the board adopt Resolution 1023 and approve the public benefit grant programs for RME for the new alternative fuel vehicle purchase.
They get another golf cart.
Yes.
They need it. All right. Any questions? Comments? Motion? We got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Lee to adopt the resolution and approve the grants program. It is a roll call vote. Tina, please.
Ms. Gattuso? Mr. Leap?
Yes.
Ms. Moran? Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to item C, Resolution 9-23, CalShape Program Project. Welcome back, Sherry.
Thank you. It is recommended that the board adopt Resolution 09-23, which authorizes LBUSD to accept the grant from the California Energy Commission to implement a CalShape program project.
All right.
The grant would be $1,625,493.72.
Nice. A lot of money. And I want to maybe mention something, a couple of things. First of all, sometimes when there are items up on the screens and we're not looking at the screens because there's slides up there, we actually have a monitor here that we're looking at. So we're not ignoring what's going on up there. We have monitors that we can see when the speakers are speaking or whatever. We do have monitors up here. That's number one. And number two, the board gets the packets which are available to everybody at the website, on either Friday or Monday prior to a board meeting, and then we all go through and review everything in here. So sometimes people say, you guys don't ask any questions. Well, we've already reviewed this, and sometimes we've, talked to superintendent or whoever is presenting this and got some of our questions answered. And so you're looking at resolution for a CalShape program, and you're probably going, what the heck is that? Well, we've already done the research on it, and if you have any questions or anybody out in the public that has any questions about that, they can find this information on our board agenda. So I just want to share that, we have done our homework and asked our questions, to get some idea what's it all about. And so that's why sometimes we don't ask questions here, because we've really taken care of all that prior to that. So with that, I do need a motion, please. Yeah. We got a motion by Ms. Gattuso, second by Ms. Valadeo to adopt the resolution and approve the grants program. It is a roll call vote. Tina?
Mrs. Gattuso? Mr. Leap?
Yes.
Ms. Moran? Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, on to something we don't want to listen here about. We got a Lofton Stadium change order request.
So it is recommended the board approve contract change order number 3 with BMY Construction Group Incorporated for the construction of Lofton Stadium, new concessions, restrooms, and athletic team buildings in the amount of $2,989.70.
With that, though, you didn't read the other part. There is something that doesn't cost any money, and that is the weather delays. So they got another, is it 19 days?
So they have 19 days. That's for November and December. They probably next board meeting, I will be bringing the remaining weather delays that they have submitted. So they have January, February, March, maybe.
So,
I don't know if April they'll have any. I don't think they've had any delays in April as far as
so we'll
weather.
probably have at least a month added to the project.
Yeah, so we'll have some more time.
So that was also on this agenda.
But that's
item.
no cost.
There's no cost. You're right. Doesn't cost anything. It's
It
just,
doesn't cost anything.
except costs us time and money. Time, yes. So with that, any questions? Motion?
So moved.
Okay, you got a motion by Mr. Munoz, seconded by Mr. Lieb. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Dr. Horton. Here he comes. For the course adoption, first reading.
Yes, good evening, Board. At the March 23rd Secondary Curriculum Council, it was unanimously approved there that a new course be adopted for grades 7 and 8, music appreciation. So tonight, we're asking the Board to declare its intent to adopt the course at first reading.
All right. Any questions or comments?
This is a, I've got a question, sorry.
Go ahead.
This is a music appreciation class at Creekside Junior High, correct?
It would be available for both junior highs to teach, but it will probably start at Creekside because that's the teacher that brought the course forward.
And then if it's going to be at Los Banos Junior High, they have to find a teacher to teach it?
They would have to find a teacher to teach it, but it would be available for them to teach if they could find a teacher to teach it.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Motion, please. We got a motion. We got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Valadeo, to declare our intent to adopt the course Music Appreciation, grade 7-8. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Horton. On to policy updates. Mr. Sowersby.
Good evening, board members. Tonight before you, it is recommended the board declare its intent to adopt new and update the following policies. To update the following policies of BP 5131 conduct, BP/AR 5131.2 bullying, and a new policy, BP 5131.8 mobile communication devices. Updates on 5131 conduct more closely aligned with board policies and federal and state regulations, and policy 5131.8 mobile communication devices is a new policy. And so we're asking for your approval.
All right, so this is first reading?
Yes.
It'll come back to us in May.
Okay.
So with our first reading, are there any questions? Comments? Motion, please.
So moved.
We got a motion by Mr. Munoz, seconded by Mr. Lieb, to declare our intent to adopt the new policies, or the updated policies and new policies, conduct bullying and mobile communication devices. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried. On to item G, which is the CSBA Delegate Assembly Runoff Election. Nope. I turn you on and then you turn.
Okay, gotcha. Well, basically, they're recommending that you vote for representative for the California School Boards Association Delegate Assembly.
Right. Okay. So this actually was before us last month, and they did not have any candidates on the ballot. So obviously, no one got elected. So what happened was 3 different districts nominated somebody from their district to be on the ballot as a write-in. So there were 3 write-ins, and then with the results of that, the 3 write-ins have to have a runoff. So we're having a runoff between 3 current board members. One is in Merced City, one is in Delhi, and one is in Winton. And since it was a write-in ballot, they did not have to do the declaration of candidacy process. And when you do a declaration of candidacy, you have to have a bio. But when you're a write-in, you don't have to do a bio. So I don't know any of these people. Does anybody know any of these people? So we have no bios. We have nothing to go on. So what do you want to do? You're going to vote somebody, or you just want to, what do you want to do? We can submit a blank ballot if you want, or we can pick somebody. Your choice. What do you want to do? What's your thing, Ms. Valadeo?
I just think since I don't feel comfortable voting for someone where there's no bio and I don't know who they are, so I would prefer to send in not voting for a candidate.
Was that a motion?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion. We have a motion by Ms. Valdeo, seconded by Ms. Gattuso, to not vote for any of these three and send our ballot in blank without a vote on it. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. All right. On to item 11, which is our consent calendar. Are there any pulls? We have multiple items on this page. Are there any pulls to discuss? Seeing none, need a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
We got a motion by Member Lieb, seconded by Member Valadeo to approve the consent calendar as listed. This is a roll call vote. Tina?
Mrs. Gattuso? Mr. Lieb?
Yes.
Ms. Moran? Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Ms. Valadeo? Mr. Pereira?
Yes.
Thank you.
And that carried unanimously. Thank you, Tina. Next item is reporting out a closed session action. And we have two action items on that we took care of in closed session. First action item was student discipline. Expulsion case number 5516244 is expelled for the remainder of the school year. Expulsion case numbers 5506768 and 5510391 are expelled for the remainder of the school year and the fall semester trimester of the 23-24 school year. Expulsion case number 5533124 is expelled for 1 calendar year. Students are to contact Educational Services for readmission following the period of expulsion for a review of attendance, credits, and/or grades, behavior, and recommended counseling. All students are referred to Valley Community School. Motion by Ms. Valdeo, seconded by Mr. Munoz. There were 5 ayes, no noes, no abstentions, and 2 absent. Second item is item number 3, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment. In closed session, the board took action to adopt the charges served on a certificated permanent employee and authorizes the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources to serve the appropriate notices to the aforementioned employee. The vote was 5 yes, no noes, no abstentions, and 2 absences. That was our action in closed session. And next item is discussion information and future agenda items. Anyone?
Mr. Pereira? I'm sorry. Did we get who made the motion or anything for that last?
They didn't have that on here, but I can read that.
Okay.
Motion was by, for the item number 3, motion was by Munoz, seconded by Lieb.
Thank you.
And you got the vote?
Got it.
Okay. All right. Discussion information and future agenda items, anyone? Seeing none, next item on the agenda is closed session, and we actually finished everything in closed session. We stayed a couple of minutes extra to get it done. So we have no closed session to go into, nothing to report out for that closed session. So as of 8:33, we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great night.